two very different mentors. You've got his actual father, highly educated, the poor dad, and then his best friend's father, the rich dad. The rich dad lacked that formal education, but had this amazing financial sense. It's just a powerful way to get you rethinking wealth.
That contrast is absolutely key, isn't it? The
Yeah.
poor dad follows that path we're all sort of taught. Get good grades, find a safe job, work hard for your money.
The standard script.
Exactly. But the rich dad offers something almost, well, the complete opposite philosophy. So for you listening, what's the fundamental shift rich dad is pushing for?
Well, the core difference is this. Poor dad teaches you to work for money. Trade your time for a paycheck. Rich dad teaches you how to make money work for you. It's a huge reorientation. He really emphasizes building financial literacy, understanding how money actually moves, and crucially, focusing on buying assets, not liabilities. That idea alone is, well, it's a game changer for financial freedom.
Okay, assets versus liabilities. It's a phrase people hear a lot, probably because of this book. But what does Kiyosaki really mean by that? Can you maybe give us a quick distinction, like an example from his perspective?
Absolutely. And it's simpler than people think, but profound. An asset, Kiyosaki says, is anything that puts money into your pocket. Simple. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Now, this flips common ideas like your home. Most people think, it's my biggest asset.
Right.
But Kiyosaki argues, hold on. If you're paying a mortgage, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and it's not generating income, it's taking money out. So functionally, it's a liability. But maybe a rental property that brings in cash each month after expenses, that's an asset.
Ah, okay. So it's really about the cash flow, not just ownership or perceived value. That makes sense.
Exactly. Understanding that difference, what builds wealth versus what drains it, that's probably the book's most powerful lesson.
So seeing beyond the surface, that leads to another big idea, breaking free from the rat race, as he calls it. For someone stuck in that cycle, maybe working hard, paycheck to paycheck, how does the Rich Dad Way offer, an escape plan?
It's really about building up your financial intelligence so you can generate passive income. That's the escape hatch. The book points out, look, traditional school teaches you to be a good employee, right? Earn a salary. But it doesn't often teach you how to manage money, grow wealth, or even spot opportunities. So instead of just working harder to earn more, Rich Dad says, work to learn. Learn valuable skills. Understand accounting, investing basics, marketing, maybe leadership, things that let you create or buy assets that generate income, rather than just relying on your job.
That's a really crucial distinction. Work to learn, not just earn. Okay. Now, critics often point out that Rich Dad, Poor Dad, well, it's light on specific investment strategies. Okay, how do I buy assets? Oh, how do you square that criticism with its huge impact? Is it more about philosophy than practice?
That's a totally fair point, and it comes up a lot. Look, Rich Dad Poor Dad isn't trying to be a detailed step-by-step investing manual. You won't find stock picks in there. Its power, its groundbreaking nature, it lies in changing how you think about money, about jobs, about risk, about success. It's less about buy this specific thing and more about building the financial IQ, the mindset, the courage, really, to take calculated risks and learning from mistakes.
Right, the fear of failure holds so many back.
Exactly. Kiyosaki argues those things, the mindset, the courage, the learning they have to come first, before any specific strategy can actually work for you, and empowers you to see the opportunities yourself.
It's fascinating how much of this boils down to an internal shift, not just, external actions. Wealth starts in the mind, he seems to say.
Precisely. Connecting it to the bigger picture, it's really about finding that courage he talks about.
Yeah.
Taking those calculated risks, being willing to learn when things don't go perfectly. Instead of just being stuck in fear or following the old conventional paths, it's about pushing yourself, maybe learning to read a financial statement, starting small with building your own assets.
Okay, so wrapping this up, a final thought for you, our listener. Reflecting on this Rich Dad philosophy, what liability in your own life have you maybe mistaken for an asset? And thinking about that mindset shift, what's maybe one small change you could make starting today to begin building your own path out of that rat race? Something to think about.